You don't have what it takes to beat this game, so don't even try.
Alright, let's jump straight into this. Cyan Studio is in the chat saying hi. Hi Cyan, welcome to the stream. We are going to dive straight into some full game attempts. So let me just make sure everything's ready. And let's get cracking.
Well, there's no turning back now.
Hang on a minute.
Done.
Need to change some settings. Okay. Should be good to go now. Cool. So, last stream we had a very long stream, but we did get a PB in the end of 31:46, which is a very good time. But we're going to keep going and see if we can do better. And at this stage, we're getting towards the end of the series, and I've basically learned everything I want to learn. And I did a bit of offline practice yesterday just to keep myself in shape. So today is just pretty much going to be entirely attempts, unless there's a particular area that I feel like I need to stop and practice. But we're just going to try and get a bunch of attempts in and see if we can get a PB. And that'll pretty much be the stream. Cyan says, reset lol. Yeah, that was such a great run too. Like, it was on world record pace. I hadn't made any mistakes. Too bad I had to reset. Alright, now this is one of the rooms I was working on yesterday. And I learnt Val's backup strat. But let me see if I can... Yeah, I got the coins. I practiced that as well. So I realized with those coins they're not as tight as I thought they were. So what I did a lot of the time was I turned around... Oopsie. Okay. What I did a lot of the time was I turned around too early. But actually, you can afford to turn around quite a bit later, so that's helped me to get that more consistently. Also, now that we've got a new PB, it means our splits are going to be compared against that PB. And one of the nice things about that is that the level 1 in my PB was actually quite a slow level 1. It was 747 if you look on the side of the screen. And so that means we should be able to get ahead into level 2 quite easily. And hopefully we should be able to maintain our ground and even gain some time, because even though we PB'd by over a minute, there's still a lot of flaws and gaps in that run, so that's what I'm hoping to improve today. Okay, and this is another tricky section which I was struggling with. Hopefully I'll be able to get it more reliably. I think that should be fast enough there. Yeah, that should be alright. Nice. Nice. No deaths in the water section. Well, apart from the death strat, of course. Oh, unfortunately we just missed that one coin there. So we just lose a cycle there. It's not too bad. That is one area of level 1 that I'm still struggling with, that top left corner there. It's quite difficult to get the fast cycle. Alright, so far pretty good level 1. Just that slight mishap in A2. It was a bit close, but we made it. Okay, very good pace into B1. Let's see if we can... These last 3 rooms seem to often cause me quite a bit of trouble, so let's see if we can fix that. Okay. Small time loss there, but it's not too big of a deal. Okay. Ah. This is quite a difficult strat I've got here. Oh. Shouldn't have died there though. Oh man. Yeah, unfortunately all of our time gain just disappeared in an instant on that last area there. So I'll just call that a reset there. It's just not worth going into the rest of the levels without having a good level 1 in my opinion, so it's unfortunate because the rest of level 1 was pretty good. But yeah, we just Just lost a lot of time there. We're kind of at the stage now where I'm going to be a bit more strict with my resets. Generally, I don't like to reset too often, but you've got to be smart with your time and also with your effort, I guess, or your luck, or whatever it may be, you know, because we were on like an 8-minute pace for level 1. Even if I set a PB, it would have been better if, you know, if I took another level 1 that was, say, 7:30, and if I did the same levels 2, 3, 4, and 5, I'd be 30 seconds faster, right? And 30 seconds is a lot at this stage, so it's worth taking the time to get level 1 right, rather than you know, spend half an hour playing the other 4 levels just to get, you know, an average time, even if it is a PB. So nice. Okay. Right. Anyway, I should concentrate. We're getting back in the game here. Back to level 1. If anyone is just tuning in, we're just doing full game attempts today. No practice, just diving straight in. Well, I did do some offline practice yesterday, but no stream practice. Science says stream chat feels lonely. Well, that's not my fault. Ask the other viewers why they haven't said anything yet. Can we get some deathless level 1 hype in the chat? Ah, Pamil is here. Welcome to the stream, Pamil. Oh, I was joking about the deathless level 1, but we actually got deathless death strat, so it could happen. Dimrom is here as well. Hi, Dimrom. Yeah, of course it's not the most thrilling start to a stream, because unfortunately the water section in level 1 it's pretty dull for the most part, except for C2, which has some interesting stuff. But this room right here has got to be like one of the most boring rooms in the game. So, but you know, we just gotta deal with that. That's the tough thing. I think we'll be alright. Let's see. Yeah, good turnaround, good turnaround. Whoa, that's got to be pretty close, but we made it. Cyan says, according to Abho, the abstract designs of the World Size Game 4 are the best type of design. What do you mean by abstract? You might need to elaborate on that. Ah, nice. We got that perfect this time. Excellent. Cyan says, stress go brr. No, we're not in the last 5 rooms yet. There's no stress here. Oh man, that was a little slow. Oh well. Oh, that's funny. I wasn't planning on collecting the key, but it actually kind of worked out pretty well. I know Abho gets the key first, I don't think it makes much difference, but it might be faster. But whatever I just did then was really fast. Oh, really? Is that where we're going to get our first death? Okay, we're still on really good pace, again into the final 3. See if we can make a good level 1 out of this time. Oh, that was unnecessary. Oh, this is a bit slow. Not sure if we're going to make it here. Oh man, that was close. Okay, we did make it though. Still had the death in B1, but we could make a decent level 1 out of this. Okay, nice. Get the fast cycle on the way out. Okay, well, it was a perfect C1. Just have to see how the rest of the level goes. Oh, that was close, but not quite close enough. Oh, that was a bit silly. Jacob Mason is here saying hello. Hello, Jacob. We are doing a full game run at the moment. Still in level 1, but we're doing all right. Oh man. This. I mean, this is hard, but it doesn't usually give me this much trouble. Let me concentrate a bit more here. Okay, we'll keep going. We're going to be pretty much on par with our PB. We'll see what we can make of the later levels. Not really the level 1 I was hoping for. That last area just gave us a lot of trouble both times, unfortunately. Okay, it sounds like what Cyan's saying is that that Abho prefers the organic level design of What's This Game 4, whereas What's This Game 3 is a bit more rigid and symmetrical. I can see that argument, and I do notice that a lot of Abho's levels have that sort of organic style, like Density, for example. But I think Abho pulls it off a lot better. Like a level like Density looks really cool, whereas the What's This Game 4, it doesn't pass the aesthetic test for me, in my opinion. It's just a little too wishy-washy for my liking. Yeah, Delta Loft, is that the red one? I don't remember the name of it, but he made a red one that sort of snakes around the screen. That was really good. Jacob says, all that trouble in A1 and only plus 0.2 seconds. Well, the thing is, we had a really good level 1 all the way up to A2, or A1 rather, and then we just blew like 30 seconds of time gain on the last area. That's why I'm a little bit disappointed with that. Oh, Delta Loft's a purple one. Okay, I must be thinking of a different level then. Anyway, level 2's been perfect so far, so... Oh man, should have kept my mouth shut. Nice. Luckily we died on a spot that doesn't lose too much time. Although the level 2 in my PB was pretty good, so with that death we probably are going to be behind again into level 3. If we're behind by too much into level 3, we might do another reset. We're getting to the stage now where, you know, we need to kind of get everything right. We can't really afford to have too many mistakes. So, at a certain point, it's not worth continuing with a run. Anyway, I'll see if I can make this work. Although it looks like we're going to be 20 or 30 seconds behind by my estimation. Oh, that wasn't ideal. Maybe only 10 or 15 seconds behind. Anyway, we'll see what the split is into level 3. Yeah, when you start to get to the pointy end of speedrunning, you have to get everything right. Less room for mistakes. Improvements will be fewer and farther between. That's just the nature of it. So I suspect there'll be a lot of resets today, but hopefully we can get a good run going at some point. Honestly, if I got a good level 1 and 2, I'm pretty confident that I could clutch out a PB. But that's why I'm kind of saying that I might reset and wait for a better level 1 and 2, but we'll just see what the split is. It's actually not looking too bad. It's only going to be a couple of seconds. We'll keep going. We'll keep going and see how we go. Yep. Yeah, the thing is with that death there, what was 6 seconds became like 15 seconds. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try for a bit. We can do better. We can do better. We don't need to. Especially with a 747 level 1, like we really should be ahead of that. Really should be ahead, so. Yep, reset time again. You'll probably be seeing a lot of that this stream. Unfortunately, level 1 is pretty, well, very long and kind of boring, so we're going to have to play level 1, like, quite a lot and not get to play much of the other levels. So keep me entertained in chat. Ask me some tough questions. Camille says, feel like you should be taking it easier on A1. You could be right. You could be right. Usually it doesn't take me that many deaths to get through it. We'll see. If it keeps causing problems, then maybe I'll back off a bit and use something easier. But on the other hand, if I did get it first try, which happens fairly often, then it would save a lot of time. Dimrom says, can sub 7 be possible on level 1? Yes, sub 7 has been done. Frames has got a sub 7, although he did use a glitch in it. But Vowels has a glitchless sub 7, so that's all the proof you could possibly ask for. 6:59 was his time. Frames got a 6:43, so a bit faster, but that was using the glitch. My personal best is 7:07, but I think that might have had a death. I'm pretty sure it had a death, and it definitely didn't have the fastest routes. There's quite a few rooms that could be done faster than what I'm doing. Alright, nice. Alright, that looks good. Yeah, that should be plenty. Oh, look at that. Nice. Smooth sailing through there. Ooh. That's awkward. Okay. Bit awkward that we had that void fall at the beginning, but at least we got the top left first try. Oh man. Oh, doing terribly on these coins. It's hard to get those fast. It's a really weird kind of movement. Okay, still a good start to level 1. This is the third time we've been here on this kind of pace. Third time's a charm, right? Okay, good key. Alright, good time in C1. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm looking for. PB in the making. Alright. Time to not choke. Cyan says, don't choke, just like level 22 from World's House Game 1. That's right. Okay, nice D3. That's a little awkward. Okay. Probably should have waited there, but that's right. Okay, nice. Excellent. Very good pace. Very good pace at the moment. Usually I'm here at about 11.5 minutes. Right now I'm here at 11 flat, so that's really good. Nice. We gained a bit of time as well. Not much, but it's something. Went for a conservative pause at the beginning there after messing it up last time, so... Make sure to get that key, not make the mistake I made last stream. Oh, a little tight there. Okay, we lost a bit of time, but we didn't die, so that's fine. We take those. In general, I've been doing pretty well on B2 recently though, so pretty happy with how that's shaped out. It was a bit shaky when I first learned it, but we've been doing well on that, so that's good. Okay, nice. Alright. First half of level 3 done. Okay, small death there, but it's not too bad. Ooh, almost shot off the end there. Gotten a lot more consistent at those coin grabs as well. I think I've gotten a lot better at controlling myself on the ice after playing this game for so long. We're on good pace. Can we clutch it out in the diamond room? Nice! This is going to be a PB into level 4 for sure. Low 17, that's awesome. And a gold for level 3. Epic. That's what I'm talking about. Jacob says, what stuff did you like to do in high school? Play the world's host game. Do homework? No, I didn't like doing homework. I mean, I was perhaps a bit... I was definitely on the nerdy side, so I didn't mind homework as much as some people. But it still wasn't my favorite activity. My favorite subject was maths. And I also did music and physics in the HSC. That's the Australian thing you do at the end of school, the HSC Higher School Certificate. I don't know what the equivalent is in other parts of the world, but now I've been practicing the fast cycle here, so, and also getting the diamond without getting the checkpoint. So let me see if I can do that now. Whoa, I was a bit close, but we made it. Awesome. That's really good, because I only learned that yesterday. Yeah. Okay, not too bad in B3 there. Happy to get C3 Deathless. All in all, doing pretty well. I'm very happy. Ooh, bit too far on the ice there. Emil says, I liked maths and computing science. That's pretty similar to me. I never actually took a computing science course, but I've done a lot of programming. My father taught me to program, and I've just sort of been practicing that ever since I was a teenager, making various projects here and there, including some World's Hardest Game related stuff. I wonder, I can see Jacob says that he's a huge maths nerd too. I wonder if there's anything about the World's Hardest Game that attracts mathematically inclined people. Okay, that should be okay. If not, we can come back and get some of those later. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Perfect sweep. This is a really good level 4. It's a really good level 4. Let's see if we can clutch it out. Oh, that wasn't ideal, but I think it's going to be alright. Yep, that's fine. Oh, we got the key. We got the 2-second time loss. Reset time. Alright, we are on crazy pace here. Absolutely bonkers. Let's see if we can clutch out the PB. Boy, pressure's on. $108 gold. Nice. Man, I didn't think we'd be getting triple gold. Like, all of my golds are really good. I really did not expect to be getting that many golds. Well, when I say my golds are really good, I mean, they're still far from perfect, but they're still pretty decent. Because I've played the game enough times now that I've gotten good times on almost every level. Yeah, 1 minute time gain is a lot if we can keep it, but it can vanish very quickly, which I'm all too aware of. Okay, perfect on the bottom half. Let's do the top half. Well, still got the coin room. Camille says, I thought for sure that someone did... Are you talking about the World's Last Game 2 Deathless? There's no known completion of the World's Last Game 2 Deathless. Could easily have been done by someone off camera, but there's no known such thing. A lot of people have done World's Last Game 1 Deathless. Yeah, that's true. That was a really good coin room, actually. Well, average maybe, but I've had a few rough coin rooms recently, so that was pretty nice. Remember, it's not over until it's over. You can lose minutes in an instant on this section. Science Studio says, don't mess up. Oh, thanks, man. I hadn't thought of that. I'll keep that in mind. I'll skip the key there again, just to make things a bit easier for myself at the end. When you realize that I don't upload is here saying, yo, what's up? What's up is we're on the final 5 rooms of a world record pace run, so it's getting a little hot in here. It's getting a little hot in here. Alright, we're gonna have some serious time, folks. Let's go. Let's go. 30-23. Oh man, look at that. Oh gosh, how am I ever gonna beat that? Frames has joined the chat. Let me catch up a little bit. Dimron says, Deathless level 5 again? Yes, Deathless level 5. Cyan says, I'm legit stressing right now. Well, you can relax now. You can relax. Pamil says, GG. Cyan Studio says, GG. Yeah, I can't read out all those Gs. Yanzon is here saying, GG. Pamil says, so close to your summer best. Yeah, we got quadruple gold. Quadruple gold. That's awesome. Cyan says, Deathless level 5. When you realize that I don't upload, it says, OMG, let's go. Jacob says, now that's crazy good. Some more GGs. Pamil says, you're making it look so easy. Well, if you want to see me make it look hard, just watch my first stream, because just remember, the first time I played this, it took me 2 hours and 54 minutes. And now we've taken that down to 30 minutes and 23 seconds. Dimrom says, 4 seconds behind summer best. Yeah, that's because we basically, this run basically is our summer best, except for level 2, where I was 4 seconds behind my best level 2. Oh man, I gotta take a sip of water. Now you know. Now you know why I reset those runs at the beginning, right? Wouldn't it be sad if I got gold level 3, 4, and 5 after getting an 8-minute level 1, but instead we had a 7:05 level 1 and we still clutched it out? Awesome stuff. Yeah, that's why I did the resets, because I knew I was going to get a good level 3, 4, and 5. I knew I had it in me. But, you know, at this stage, you know, these runs are getting pretty fast. You basically have to have a good time on every single level. And if you have a bad level, there's no point going on. Also, 7 deaths for the whole game. Is that a world record? I could be wrong, but I think that's a low death world record. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is... pretty sure that's a world record. Dimitri says, new world record by almost a minute. Yeah, that's right, because Val's was 31:22, right? Yeah, so 59 seconds improved. I'm looking for my UGG boots. My feet are getting cold, man. Give me one moment. I'll be back in a second. Man, okay, I'm back, by the way. You know, this is going to be so hard to beat because with only 7 deaths, that means I only made 7 mistakes. And all of my mistakes were pretty small, if I remember correctly. Like, there was no major deaths that cost a lot of time. So this is going to be really tough to beat, but I do want to keep going and see if we can get a sub 30. This is a good run, though. This is a very good run. Oh, let me look through some of the stats, because I'm just curious. So if I just reset my splits for a second. So for the run we just did, we got a 705 on level 1, which is really good. PB. We got a 512 on level 2, which my PB is 508, so only 4 seconds behind. We got a 505 in level 3, which is really good. PB. 637 in level 4, really good. PB. And 622 in level 5, also PB. Frames in the chat saying, only true OGs will remember me. Well, now's your chance to reclaim the crown. It's going begging. Oh, I see, that was Cyan said, only true OGs will remember the time when it took 3 hours. This is a bit of yeah. Oh yeah, Dimrom says, update 4 game sum. Yeah, I'll update that. Yeah, good. Thanks for reminding me. So what do we get? 3023. So I'll update the personal best. Frame says, I'm going to have to actually hurry up now if I want to be the first to get sub 30. Luckily, I always perform really well under time pressure. Sigh. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. The race is on. Any of the 3 of us could be the first to do it. Okay, right, I was in the middle of updating the, okay, 3023. Oh man, we PB'd by like a lot. We PB'd by a lot. So let me put this in here for a second. Hang on a minute. 3023. 127.59. Nice. That actually makes me think, yeah, yeah, because not only do I have room for improvement in World's Game 4, but I've also got a lot of room for improvement in World's Game 3, and a bit in World's Game 2 as well, so that's cool. That's kind of why I started the 4-game sum thing, is once I'm done with World's Game 4, I can go to a different game and still improve, you know, my 4-game sum and just keep knocking it down as low as I can. And I think the next goal is 125. I mean, you know, the goal is just to knock it down any time, but Pamil says, honestly, I think there's a solid chance you're going to get World's Game 4 deathless soon, which basically guarantees a sub 30. Although you're far more likely to get sub 30 before deathless, but still. Yeah, the thing is, I mean, yes, I do think I could get deathless, but it would take quite a while, because the lower your deaths get, the harder it gets to reduce them, right? It's like, it's pretty easy to understand that if you've got 100 deaths in one run, it's pretty easy to knock that down to 90 deaths in the next run, right? But if you've got 10 deaths in one run, then to knock that down to 0 is like quite hard, right? And even if you've got a run with only like 2 or 3 deaths, those last 2 or 3 are the hardest to, you know, to knock out of the way. When you realise that I don't upload, says, World's Game 3D, question mark. I'm not quite sure where that came from, but there is a 3D version of the World's game that was made by Pazula that is on YouTube. Yarnzon says, I think someone should pay you for all this effort. No, I don't need to be paid. This is, you know, this is just what I'm doing for fun, right? I mean, I do put a lot of like effort into this, but it's a hobby. It's you know, it's just playing a video game. You know, so. Film 64 says, I'm making World's Game 3D. Yes, Film 64 is also making a version of World's Game in Roblox. Alright. Well, this is going to be this is going to be potentially challenging, but I think we should hop back in and have another couple of attempts, and just see what we can do. See if we can take it even lower. That's basically the plan. Okay, the splits are ready. Everything else is ready. Frame says, I think you should run World's Game 3 now. You just want me to move on to World's Game 3 so that you can get the sub 30 first. Nice try, nice try. Anyway, like I said about knocking down deaths, it's the same with knocking down time, right? Like, the faster you get, the harder it is to improve. So, even though my personal best is really close to sub 30, it's going to be really hard to knock over those last 23 seconds. Frames, you better start if you want sub 30, you better start now, because I'm about to get it right here, so, you know, you better be quick. Real P is here saying, hello. Hello, welcome to the stream. If you only just joined, then I'm afraid to say you kind of missed the best part of the stream, but we just set a new PB, which is also a world record, of 30 minutes and 23 seconds. Dimrom says, World's Hardest Game 4 sub 30 race. Yeah, I mean, it's exciting to have 3 players, well, I say active, Frames isn't really active at the moment, but 3 active players of one game at once is something I'm not really familiar with. was a bit awkward. Oh, that was very awkward. Okay. It's okay, Real P, because even though you missed the world record, you're here in time for this run, which is going to be a sub 30. This is going to be the sub 30 right here. Yeah, I did a World Source Games 3 race with Jacob. I would do more of those, but I feel like at this stage it would kind of be unfair because I kind of run that game quite a bit, but he's kind of stopped running it, so any race we have would not really be fair. Science Studio says, don't jinx it. No, I'm not jinxing it. I'm making it happen. It's like fake it till you make it, right? This will be a sub 30 run. Confidence. Confidence is key. Jacob says, that was a train wreck. Next time we got to make sure that everything works. yeah, it was a train wreck, but, you know. It was particularly a train wreck on my part because a couple of things. My PC was lagging for a bunch of the stream, and my internet was lagging for a bunch of the stream, and you know, that was not great. But you know, if you ever want to race again, Jacob, I'm down. Any percent or 100%, I don't mind. Green paint percent. Ooh, what happened there? Suppose I was a bit too eager. Gimrom says, lol, is green paint percent a thing? No, it's not a thing. The thing about the World Source Game series is there's so few people running it that we don't need extra categories, we need fewer categories. Actually, green paint percent would be kind of interesting because you wouldn't need any coins. You would only need, assuming the time stops as soon as you touch the green paint, you would only need keys. And instead of going up the top, you'd probably go down the bottom first because that would probably be faster to get the key. Although, I'm not sure actually. But yeah, it would probably be faster down the bottom. That could be a fun category for like new runners, since you wouldn't need any like difficult tech for it. Okay, so we've had a couple of mistakes on level 1, but we're not doing too badly, so we'll keep going. Also, I just remembered when I was talking about our 7 death count from that other run. Of course, one of those deaths was the death strat, so actually it's only 6 deaths, and if we wanted to go for a deathless run, we would have to not do the death strat, which is not really something. I mean, look, the death strat only saves, you know, 3 or 4 seconds, but 3 or 4 seconds is a big deal in, you know, this kind of a speed run. And the thing is, at the end of the day, low deaths is cool, but really my main goal is speedrunning, so... Frame says, just got to get the deathless death strat. That's right, I've just got to get the deathless death strat. It's simple, why didn't I think of that? Yeah, the death strat is the strategy that I use in 1C3, where you touch the checkpoint and then you die straight away, and then it respawns you in the checkpoint, which means you don't have to go around, which is what you'd normally have to do. Okay, that was actually a really good level 1. It looks bad, but 709 is actually really good, so we will keep going. And don't forget, this is the sub 30 run. You are watching the sub 30 run right now, so of course we can't reset, otherwise it won't be sub 30. Pamil says, didn't you at one point get a deathless death strat? It actually happens quite often, but just not often enough to be reliable. I'd say maybe like 30% of the time, maybe 20% of the time I get it. You just have to perform it very, very tightly. Well, not tight per se, but just very well, very smooth. Okay, death in B2 is a bit unfortunate there. Ooh. It's also quite unfortunate. But yeah, for this run here, I'm probably gonna I'm probably actually not gonna reset. Maybe I should. It's hard to say. The thing is, I jinxed it. Nah, I didn't jinx it. Valves is here. Welcome, Valves. I've got a present for you. 3023. We just set that like 10 minutes ago. Yeah, okay, I think we're gonna reset here. I'm kind of expecting the rest of the stream is just going to be resets the whole time, but, you know, sometimes that's what it is. Reset, reset. The other thing is, depending on how much we depending on how hard we find it to get sub 30, you know, because like that's a really fast time. It could take, you know, hours upon hours of attempts. We might try learning some faster tech, because there is some faster tech I haven't adopted yet, which might make it easier to reach that goal, even if it means having more deaths, or just the same number of deaths. How many deaths was the run? It was 7 deaths, including 1 death on the death strat, so really low deaths, which means it's going to be very tough to beat. That's what I was trying to do. That's much better. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, 4A3 is a room where we could easily save time. For a long time, I avoided learning anything new on that room because it was one of my weakest rooms, and I was learning other stuff. But now that we've kind of done everything else, it's probably time that we learned probably time that we learned a faster A3 in level 4. So we might do that next stream, or maybe at the end of this. Oh, Deathless, Deathstrat, Pog. Deathless, World's First Game 4, hype. I make that joke way too often. Science says A3 is the diagonal room, right? Yeah, it's the one with the X shape and the ice at the bottom and the normal stuff at the top. Yeah. So the current route I do there involves going back to the checkpoint and then also going over to the left and getting some of the keys. And I'm not certain, but I'm guessing that that loses about 30 seconds compared to what Val's does. So it does mean that if you die, you lose a lot more time. But the thing is, at this stage of optimization, you kind of have to not die anyway, right? So I think I will think about adopting that as the next step forward in getting faster runs. Because with 7 deaths on our PB, like, yeah, sure, we could do it in like 3 or 4 deaths if we grinded, but it's going to be really hard to save time on that without any faster routes. So I might learn that this stream. Actually, we'll see how this run goes, see if it turns into anything good. But if I decide to reset this run, then we might learn that. There are other time saves I could employ, but that one seems like the easiest and the most amount of time saved that we could do. Still, this is a good run. I mean, we've had a literally perfect run so far, including Deathless Deathstrat. So, you know, there's no reason why we can't PB with the same strategies. Oh, that was a smooth entry right there. Pretty good coins as well. Val says world record pace. Yeah, no pressure. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the World's First Game 4 in under 30 minutes with 0 deaths by Danica. Oh, I'm afraid the Deathless Dream is gone. It's still a very good level 1 though. I mean, that is one of the least consequential deaths you could possibly have. Oh no, whoops. Okay, we're alright. The split's a bit early, but that's okay. It really should be 701, not 7 flat. So if you thought our last level 1 was good, take that. That's the kind of level 1 we need to beat this PB. Or to get sub 30. Okay, now we made a mistake here in our last run, so let's fix that up. Much better. Oh, okay, I had to just play it safe there. I thought I was going to get got. That's good though. Better to lose a couple of seconds than to die. Well, got good news, folks. We're ahead of our PB pace, so this could be a PB if we can pull it off. Science says that's legit 3 rooms in a row without checkpoints. How? Don't die, that's how. Ooh. That's unfortunate. That is a little bit of a hard strap, but I do usually get it, so... Oh, man. Okay, whoa, you only just made that. That's unfortunate. We might be behind into level 3. Actually, yeah, we will be behind into level 3. That's a shame. 2 simple mistakes can just, you know, we're at that stage now where you really can't afford any major mistakes like that. We'll keep going. There's still room for improvement on the later... Oh, that was silly. Yeah, it's gonna be like 20 or 30 seconds, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think we're gonna keep going with this run, unfortunately. It was really good up until 2A3. Real P says, I still don't know why I bothered playing Was This Game 4 updated when I could be playing this. Well, yeah, I don't know either. Don't waste your time with that. Alright, so what we will do... we did get a PB level 1, which is still progress. Some of us now 30-14, so that's pretty cool. What we will do is take a moment to learn... take a moment, see if we can learn fast 4A3. Okay, just give me a moment to update the save data. We'll have to load in a level 4 start because I don't have anything closer than that. Okay, and I'll have to restart the game for a moment, so just bear with me. Okay, and I'll get up some runs here as well, so I can see what I need to do.
What it takes to beat this game, so don't even try.
Hang on, it says no save data. I must have done something wrong. Give me a moment. Oh, I see. I left an extra space in the file name. Okay. Should be good to go now. Oopsie, my splits are still going. Let's turn that off. Val says, fast 4A3 Pog. Yeah, well, it's come time. For the longest time I said I wouldn't learn it, and now is the time. Well, when I say I wouldn't learn it, for the longest time I said I'd learn it later. Now is that time. Now is that time. Okay. Okay, just bear with me for a moment. I'm getting some videos to learn from. Okay, so first I'm going to start by looking at... Actually, maybe I should get there first. That's probably a smart idea. Yeah, let's get to where we're going first of all. Now, the interesting thing about this is that when we implement this strategy, we're going to be going 1, 2, 3, 4 screens, if you count coming back to A2 again, without getting a checkpoint. And they're not too difficult, to be honest, but it's game over if you die at this stage of optimization. So, but the thing is, the thing about going without checkpoints is once we get to this kind of level of speed, you kind of have to not die anyway. Like, if I die on the second half of A3, then sure, I go back to the checkpoint, so I don't have to do the first half again. But even just that death alone costs like 10 or 15 seconds, depending on where it is, which is a big deal at this stage. So checkpoints become less important in a certain sense. They become less important as you get faster, because you don't want to. If you have to use a checkpoint, it means you've died, which means you've already lost time. Okay, nice. Happy to get that first try again, because like I said, I only learnt that yesterday. Val says a death past A3 is pretty much a minute gone, or maybe more like 40 seconds. Yeah, well, whatever it is, it's a lot, that's for sure. Oh man. Well, I'm glad I'm doing this now, not in a run. I did think I had C3 down pretty well, so, but I always concentrate more when I'm actually in a run, so it could just be a bit of laziness. That's one of the other things about like getting good early levels, is it actually encourages me to perform better on the later levels. So like if I'm behind my PB by like 20 seconds, I'm feeling a bit meh, right? I'm feeling like, you know, this isn't really a great run. If I'm ahead by 20 seconds, then I'm like, oh yes, this is a good run. And so if I'm in a positive mood, then I'm more likely to actually perform well. Okay, here's the spot we wanted to get to. Wasn't quite as smooth as I might have hoped, but we're here now. So disable auto-saving. And let's see what Val's does in this room. So I'm looking at Val's 3122. And I might as well share it on the stream just so you can see what I'm talking about. So let me just get this up for a second. Okay, here we go. So this is Val's 3122 former world record run in 4A3. So I'm pretty sure it starts out the same as what I do. So yeah, he goes down there, and then across to that spot, and then gets the key. Slightly different route through there, but it's pretty much the same as what I do. A little bit slower actually, but it should end up being the same. Comes through all of this stuff. Goes into that hole. Now I already go there, but now the difference is he goes straight down. Wow, and he zips straight across to the end and gets in front of that enemy. Okay. Then he gets all of this stuff. And then does he... Oh, and then he waits for this guy, then he goes diagonally over there. Okay, that looks not too bad. See, the thing is, it's actually not that hard. Maybe I should try it first before I say that, but it doesn't look too bad. So, we wait here, wait for it to open up, zip all the way across there. And then once we get all of this stuff, then we wait for this. We need to wait here and then zip across and then try and get in front of that enemy there. This spot here. Now Val's got quite close to the enemies there, but I don't think that's really necessary. See, like he could have moved across a bit earlier here. So basically go up to that red square is kind of the cue. Go up to this red square here and then move across to the white square. And then after that, it's pretty much free to go to the end. Alright, so let me give this a go. Alright, so we have disabled auto-saving. And first part is same as normal. Okay, so we still go into the same safe spot, and then we go down here and zip straight across there. Nice, yep, that's exactly it. Then we get all of this stuff, and then we wait here for it to go back the other way, and then we zip across here, and then we needed to be on the left side of that enemy. I mean, you probably could survive on the other side, but I think it's easier on the left side. That was almost perfect though, just that bit at the end needs to be further to the left. Okay, so we go over to our safe spot, then we go straight across here. Yeah, that's actually easier than it looks, because you can just hold left and down until you bang into the wall. It's pretty easy as long as you get the start correct. We go across here. Oh, okay. Got a little bit in the wrong place on the ice there. Oh, that was unnecessary. And that was unnecessary. This isn't even new stuff. This is just mistakes. Okay, nice. Okay, so we go straight across here. Okay, a little slow here, but that's okay. We can actually afford to be very slow here because there's quite a bit of waiting on the other side. Yeah, so we're... Oh, it does mean we have a little less time for the alignment though, so... Camille says, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this the same as what you were doing, but without getting the checkpoint before the ice part? Close, not quite. There's a couple of things that are different. First of all, when I did it before, I went all the way over to the left, where those 3 keys are in the triangle on the left, which is slower than going back through, like, the left of the X. And also, because I don't do the pattern reset, yeah, like Val said, because I don't do the pattern reset, the enemies are in a different position to what I'm used to. So even though it's the same part of the level, the enemies are in a different position, so I need to learn the path through that other pattern. But this part here at the beginning is exactly what I was doing before, so that's no problem. There's not really too much new stuff to learn. And it's also not as hard as I thought it would be. I suppose we had that one stream where I spent like 10 minutes on 4A3, and that kind of left me a bit scarred and like feeling like 4A3 was like really hard. He says as he dies. But then I adopted this strategy that I've been using for, you know, the past however many streams, and oh my gosh. I'm trying to make a speech about how consistent I've been doing it, and I'm dying constantly as I'm saying it. But the point is that it's not as hard as it's not as hard as it used to be. I keep dying. It's not really making my point very strong, is it? Anyway. Oh man. I'm not even getting to practice the new part. Terrible. Okay, nice. Nice coins as well. Although, like I said, they don't have to be particularly fast. Oh, that is actually... Okay, right. We made it in just fine, and then I just kind of flumbled it. What's the word? Bumbled? I don't know what the word is. Fumbled? Fumbled, maybe the word. Fumbled around a little bit. And, didn't survive. We actually made it through the hard part, and then I just, you know, I never made it to that point before, so I was a bit overwhelmed, perhaps. Anyway, it's a bit tighter than I thought, but it will be perfectly consistent with some practice. Oh man. We'll go down further. I'm going to want to get this absolutely solid before we do any more attempts, because, like I said, you kind of have to not die on this kind of section because it just loses too much if you die. So I'm going to make sure that this is as solid as my old route was before I start trying to use it. Okay. Yeah, see, that is actually kind of tight, but the thing is, we could go on the right side. I wonder whether the right side's actually easier. Yeah, so with that one there, I go straight down. I have to go straight down for a bit before I move diagonally. And then that way I only need to like time one input at a time. Yeah, so what would happen if I went right there instead? It is a bit tight. It is a bit tight. Maybe I just need to suck it up and learn the left part the proper way. Val says that part's a bit easier if you stay on that one ice tile. Okay, that's a good tip. That's a good tip. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, that part's really easy actually, once you get used to it. Oh, that was a bit of a wall push there. Gave me a bit of a boost towards that enemy that I wasn't expecting. Ah, that's it. Okay, that's it, except I didn't get the run out correct. Let me see what I'm supposed to do in the run out. Because I think you can hug the left wall. Let me just check the video. Okay, it's actually not quite what Val's does, so I'll just stick with what he's doing. I'm not quite sure I hit the ice tile that Val's was talking about, but it seemed to work out anyway. Val says, I just wait. Yeah, I mean, there probably is a faster way through there, but you gotta pick your battles. Oh, speaking of picking your battles, there was no need to take that type. That was a free finish right there. Okay, but that's it. We did it. We did it again. We did the hard part again. We haven't actually done it yet, but you know, we've done the hard part. Ooh. Oh, that's okay. We've got plenty of time here. I remember now. Ah, there it is. That's the ice tile. And we made it. Let's keep going. And we'll practice all the way to the checkpoint, and then we'll load our game and do it again. Those coins we left are absolutely no problem. Okay. So that's the sequence we have to do Deathless. The end of it is not really very hard at all. And even this part here will not be too bad once we once we get it down pat. Ooh, yeah, I thought I was a bit too far to the left there. I'm just wondering, if we're going to take it slow at the end anyway, maybe there's an earlier point we can let the sweeper pass, if that makes sense, instead of going so high up. That might make it a bit easier. Let me just kind of improvise here, see if I spot a good place to stop. I mean, it might not work, but like for example here, and then like that. I mean, it was a little tight. Because the problem is if you do it too low, then the sweepers come together, and when they both come together, then you're really in a tight spot. So I suppose that's a good reason to do it higher up. And I probably don't need to practice this every time. It's probably better spent if I just nail this room. The rest I'm pretty comfortable with. That's unfortunate. Although it's the best place to die on this room, now that I'm doing it all checkpointless. Ah, that's silly. Sometimes I try and cut things fine, even when there's like no benefit to doing so. And that is what I call a silly death. That's another silly death. That was because I didn't hold both arrows in that corner, which meant I got a wall push out of it. So you always got to hold both arrows when you're hugging an ice corner, or even the normal ones as well. Which I think is just ridiculous. Like, if you're completely in that corner, you shouldn't get wall pushed out of it. It doesn't really make any sense. We're a little bit low down there, but I adjusted and worked out fine. Okay, yeah, you know what? Oh. Patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. I think I'll stick with that. It's actually not too bad once you get used to it. I just need to kind of repeat it a bunch of times to get it in my brain. One of the good things about World's Best Game 4 compared to World's Best Game 3 is there's no... Oh my gosh. Why am I doing that? That's silly. There's no areas that are like super difficult. And when I say super difficult, I'm talking about World's Best Game 3, 4B4, and 4E5, which are the two areas that I can never do Deathless consistently. Well, I've never done 4B4 Deathless. I do get 4E5 Deathless sometimes, but they're the two areas that are kind of unpredictable. Like I feel like I just can't do them as consistently as the other areas. But this game, oh, and for level 2, it would be sorry, for the World's First Game 2, it would be level 18, is the area like that. And the World's First Game 1, probably level 12, is another level that I feel like I can never do consistently. But for this game, I don't really have any rooms like that. I mean, of course, I still die, but every time I die, it's in a different place. There's no one specific spot that always kills me, right? No. I really shouldn't die there. So that's what gives me a bit of faith in getting a deathless run. Because it's kind of a matter of everything falling into place at once. Whereas a deathless World's First Game 3, you'd need to get 4B4 deathless and 4E5 deathless in the same run, and get everything else deathless, which is really hard. And World's First Game 2 deathless is doable, but level 18 certainly makes it really hard. What am I doing? Science says besides 5C3 in World's First Game 4. Well, the thing is, once you learn 5C3, it's actually not too bad. Film 64 says 4A3 reminds me of a World's First Game 2 level that's shaped like the letter V. You're exactly right. It is extremely similar to that level, and as Vals has pointed out, it's 2.1 level. Science Studio says, what's level 18? Level 18 is the one with the 3 wide, yeah, Vals just saying it. Yeah, the 3 wide enemies. And you have to do pretty much 4 tight maneuvers in the level. I think that's right. 2 on the way to the key and 2 on the way back. Yeah, 4. Hang on, I'm just checking this. Yeah, 4 tight maneuvers and a bunch of other stuff. But the most annoying thing about it is the hitboxes are just pathetic. You can die without even intersecting the enemies. I don't know quite why that is. My best guess is because it's measuring you against the enemies from the previous frame, perhaps, or something along those lines. But yeah, it's just super annoying and really hard to get consistent. And World's First Game 1, previously I would have said level 26 was the hardest. But actually, since I did my series, speedrunning the World's First Game 1, I got a lot better at level 26. And it was actually level 12 that gave me the most trouble. Although in my PB it was level 26, where I had my only death. Anyway, I feel like now that's it. We did it. I've been having a lot of deaths because I've just been kind of chatting and not paying attention. But we actually did it. I feel like the World's First Game 4 doesn't have any of those areas that are like so hard that you can't do them consistently. Everything here is able to be mastered. Like when I think of 4B4 and 4E5 and level 18 and those kinds of things, like, yeah, you can get better at them, but there's a limit. I feel like there's a limit to how... Because I've sunk hours into level 18 of World's First Game 2 trying to get it consistent. You know, I thought to myself, maybe if I practice it, you know, enough, then I'll get consistent at it. But at a certain point, you just kind of need a bit of luck, I feel like. Maybe I'm just naive and I'm not good enough at the game to master them, but Pamil says, do all 4 games have different collision logic? Val says, I think 3 and 4 are the same. Frame says, I don't know if 3 and 4 are entirely the same. Well, certainly the wall pushing is different, but I assume when you say collision logic, you're talking about the enemy collision. World's First Game 3 and 4 are the most similar. Basically, World's First Game 1 is really lenient in a lot of circumstances. World's First Game 2 is really strict and unfairly strict. World's First Game 3 is the best game, of course. And then Was This Game 4 is pretty similar to Was This Game 3. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Was This Game 3 and 4 are the same. I mean, he changed pretty much everything else, but maybe he didn't change that. Nice. See, we're starting to get it consistently now. We're starting to actually grasp what's going on here. Jacob says, Was This Game 1 hit pixels at the midpoints of the edges, but not the corners? That's true. Yes, and the center of the player as well. Jacob continues by saying, Was This Game 2 hit pixels at the midpoints of the edges and the corners? Yes. And I'm not exactly sure how well This Game 3 works, but I think it's also midpoints of edges and corners. And Frame says, Was This Game 4 reintroduces broken collision with pits? Well, Was This Game 4 reintroduces broken everything. Like Was This Game 4 is the most broken game in the series. Yeah, World's This Game 3 has a thing called enemy tolerance, which is the number of pixels into the player that the enemy has to go in order to kill the player. I believe that's what it is. Frames is quoting one of my videos. This clip does not make sense. Yeah, that's one clip that doesn't make sense. What's This Game 4 has like a million things that don't make sense. Val says, can you clip through enemies in the What's This Game 4? I don't know. Ask our expert in the chat. Whoa, that was a bit dicey, but we can still make it work. Yeah, that's fine, I think. Frame says, I've been inside enemies but never went through them. Ah, interesting. Alright, we're getting better at this for sure. We'll do a bit more practice on this and then probably leave it there for today, but we'll do a bit more practice here first. Camille says, nice, you're getting A3 consistently. Yeah, I'm getting a lot better at it now. This is the kind of strat that is not, like, it's not tight or difficult. You kind of just need to be familiar with everything that's going on. So just a bit of practice is enough to familiarize yourself with all the key points, you know, like all the important points where you need to make key presses and things like that, and all the specific enemies that you need to avoid. Every time I go through, I'm gaining more experience about like different situations. I think one of the interesting things about World's Hardest Game is when you look at someone perform a route, the first instinct is kind of thinking like, oh, they're just like reciting a list of inputs, right? They're just reciting a sequence of inputs at like a given timing, which to a certain extent is true, but it's a lot more nuanced than that. And what you see, the outcome you see is not what's going on in the player's mind. depending on what kind of route it is, you know, the player might be looking at specific enemies in order to time their decisions, or they might be looking at specific grid cues. They might be on autopilot through like easy sections, and then they pay attention in like the difficult sections. It's very different being on the player side of things than what you see when you watch a run. And I suppose the same is true for a lot of speed games. But I think it's easy to... I guess what I'm saying is it's easy to look at a video and assume that the player is reciting a rehearsed set of inputs, but really they're kind of... It's more improv... Okay, I'm not even going to try saying that. It's got more improvisation in it than you might think. Anyway, we're doing pretty well here. And I guess part of the point I was trying to make is it's not always... It's never going to be exactly the same, right? Like every time you go through an area, your inputs are always going to be slightly different. And that can put you in slightly different circumstances that you need to be familiar with. Or if you make a mistake and you need to recover. So that's what I'm learning here by going through this room so many times. I'm learning like all the different situations I could be in, and I'm learning how tolerant certain parts of the room are. You know, if I go too far left or too far right. Camille says, yeah, World's Best Game 4 is definitely way too precise and difficult for fully rehearsed movements. Well, it's actually kind of the other way around, right? Because if it was more precise and difficult, you would need more precisely rehearsed movements. But it's the flexibility that allows you to have differences in your movements. So it's very interesting because the World's Best game is quite lenient in terms of movement. If you just think of it on a simple level, right? The movement in this game is incredibly simple. I mean, seriously, is there a more simple movement system than just up, down, left, right, arrow keys? You move, with the exception of ice, and you know, like water and stuff like that. You know, you always move at the same speed. There's no acceleration. There's no drag. You know, like it's like the simplest movement you could possibly imagine for a game. And part of that means that, you know, so if I'm here and I'm moving to the end of this screen, right? All I need to do is just hold those arrows and I'm through, like as fast as possible. Okay, I came on a bit on the left side here, but you know, if I came on the inside, right, it's like you couldn't do it any faster. Whereas if you play a game with more complex movement, like for example, Mario Odyssey or Celeste are two speed games that I like that have much more complex movement. And a simple question of like, how fastly can you walk down this corridor? In the World's Best game, it's just like, well, you just hold the arrow key, right? But in other speed games, it's like, well, you know, you could use this movement tech, or you could use this movement tech, or whatever else. And I suppose the point I'm trying to make is that since the World's Best game relies so much on cycles, it means you can get away with pretty sloppy movement, right? You generally don't need the same kind of precisely fine-tuned movement that's required in other speed games. Of course, you need to avoid the enemies and you need to not die, but it's nowhere near as precise as some games. Of course, other games have easy sections as well, but there's a lot of variations you can do within a given route and still end up at the end with the same time on the clock. So that's just kind of the nature of the game. And, you know, often if you make a mistake, you can often recover and make the same cycle and not lose any time. Whereas in other games, you know, a single mistake costs you time instantly with no questions asked. Of course, other games have cycles as well, and, you know, like, I'm just making generalizations here. But, so the World's Best game, you commit to a route, and it's like, do you make the route or not? That's pretty much it. Whereas other games, it's like every fine-tuned movement step that you do suboptimally costs you time for the whole run. So, you know, it's just a difference. It's just a difference that I've observed. And I find it interesting because having speedrun some custom levels in Abho's editor, his editor actually has a different movement system, which is that moving diagonally actually moves you the same speed as any other direction. So in the normal World's Best game, if you move up, you move at a certain speed. If you move across, you move at a certain speed. If you move up and across, you move in both of those directions at once, which means effectively your speed is 40% faster if you take it in a diagonal line. But it's really just adding the up and the across speed. But in Abho's editor, you always travel at the same speed, no matter what direction you're going in, which means that if you take a detour along a straight path by moving diagonally, then you actually lose time, which actually makes the movement a lot more nuanced and complex than it is in the original series. Because when you're moving, effectively it's like strafing, right? Whenever you're strafing, you are actually costing yourself speed in the direction that you are predominantly going in, which is a very interesting mechanic in terms of optimizing movements. So I haven't quite decided which movement I prefer. I mean, the original World's Best game style feels more natural to me, but at the same time, I kind of like the complexity and nuance that Abho's system provides, because it does make things more interesting. For giving, it means every movement is important. Whereas you know, in World's Best game, if you're on a straight, you can just move up and down, you know, and it doesn't do anything. But you don't get that choice in Abho's editor. Pamil says, "Yeah, interesting. I always wondered if World's Best game remakes would use similar movement systems." Yeah, well, it's inevitable that a remake is going to differ in some way, if nothing else than the fact that all four of the World's Best games are different anyway. So even if you perfectly replicated one of them, it would still be different from all the three others. But even perfectly replicating one game is difficult. Perfectly replicating the mechanics in a different programming language, you know, in a different programming environment is not an easy task. And that's if you're even trying to emulate it perfectly. You know, I don't think Abho is striving to recreate the exact same mechanics. I think he's taking his own artistic license with how he wants the play to work. I mean, player size is another question. You know, the World's Best Game 1, I would say, has like a medium player size. The World's Best Game 2 has a small player size, and the World's Best Game 3 and 4 have pretty big player sizes. And, you know, that's a choice you have to make if you're going to make some kind of remake. Abho opted on the smaller side, and one of the one of the annoying things about that is it makes it really hard to collect 4 coins in a 2x2 square. But it's still possible, so you know, make of that what you will. Personally, I would prefer a bit of a bigger player, but you know, it doesn't really make too much difference in the end of the day because the levels are designed for, you know, a specific size of player. So whether it's small or big, you know, you can still make easy levels, you can still make hard levels. Doesn't really make much difference at the end of the day. Pamil says, I guess it really does make a huge difference since you're going 30% slower relative to an axis. Yeah, that's right. The X, if you want to think of it as X and Y components, right? If moving up is like a positive 1 Y component, and moving here is like a positive 1 X component, if you, in the normal games, if you move here, you have a positive 1 Y and a positive 1 X component for a diagonal movement. But in Abho's game, you have a 0.7 in each direction, which makes for a total velocity of 1, but it's 0.7 along each axis. So you lose quite a bit. Ooh, that's a silly place to die. Jacob Mazur says, trigonometry. I told you I was a maths nerd, didn't I? Here comes the maths lesson. Pythagoras theorem, right angle triangle. The 2 shorter sides are 1, so the longer side is going to be square root of 2. Or if you set the longer side to be 1, then 2 times the then 1 equals the square root of 2 times the other side. I've gone into autopilot now. Too much brain spent on maths. Science says, no, I thought I was done with 7th grade. It's my stream, I'm allowed to talk about maths if I want to. Anyway, the point being that the orthogonal components in Abho's editor are going to be 1 over the square root of 2. I'm pretty sure, yeah. Which is equivalent to the square root of 2 divided by 2. Which is also roughly 0.7. The boy is here saying, tried beating A3 and A2, it's so hard. I mean, they are tough, but my recommendation would be, if it's your first time playing the game, get the checkpoint in A2. I'm not doing it because I'm speedrunning, but it really is a lot easier if you get that checkpoint in A2. So hard that you gave up. Well, I can understand that, but I'll encourage you to get back to it because sometimes all you need is a bit of a break, and when you come back to something and you're all fresh, you never know, you might surprise yourself. Let's go. No problem, Mama. I wish you the best of luck. Don't forget to have fun. It's a fun game. I like to trash talk it on a regular basis, but it is a good game. We're cruising. Very happy with this. I think we've sussed out what we're doing here, so we'll do this, let's just say once more. And then that'll be it from me tonight. So let's see if we can clutch this out, Deathless. Actually, before I go, I'm curious to compare how long this takes compared to what I was doing before. So I might just quickly time both of them. Val says you can get quite consistent at this with a bit of practice. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. It feels really good because, you know, I mean, we probably learnt this maybe half an hour, 40 minutes ago, and it's already pretty solid, so that's good. So I might just use the in-game time just to get an estimate. So I'll just start by doing my old route. Oh, hang on, I forgot to look at the time. So if I load the game, okay, so it was at 3:31. Well, I suppose I don't need to know the start time, but I'll take note of it anyway. So 3:31 is the start time. So I'll start by doing my old route and just see how long it takes. And then I'll do the new one to see how much time we've saved. Alright, welcome to Slowpoke Land. I mean, look how long I'm waiting here. This is so slow. Okay, then we come back for the rest of it. Also, I feel like this route's actually harder, to be honest. Like, this ice part here is kind of tough. Whereas the ice part in the other... Oh, look at that, I just messed it up. Okay, I'll have to restart then, because I want to know the time if I get it, like, correct. Yeah, that ice part there is actually pretty hard, whereas the ice part in the other route is actually easier, in my opinion. So, that's a plus, for sure. Not having to do that anymore. Still got to do that first key at the beginning, which is a little bit tough, but it's not too bad. Watch it take me like 10 attempts to get this, even after doing it perfectly in my run just a moment ago. Now this is valuable information because my PB uses this old route, right? So if I know how much time I'm going to save here, then I can tell, you know, if I'm behind my PB or you know, equal my PB. I can tell what kind of pace I can be on when I get this. Okay, so I'm going to stop the timer upon entering the next screen. Frame says, watching this gave me ideas and I found yet another route for A3. Well, thanks for telling me that just after I learned this one. No, I'm pretty happy with this, so... Frame says, hopefully this will be more consistent. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so the time was 4:44, which means it took us... we started at 3:31, so it took us 1 minute 13, right? 1 minute 13? Okay, let's try with the new route. Val says you should use segmented A3. Is that a joke or a serious suggestion? I actually am not familiar with the segmented A3, so I don't know how hard it is. So the last one we did was 1 minute 13. Let's see what this is. Nice. Yeah, look at that. That's, what is that? 40... Oh man, my maths. 29 plus 17 is 30 plus 16, 46 seconds instead of 113. So yeah, it saves pretty much 30 seconds. That's awesome. That's awesome. Frame says all of my routes the past year have used the start of the segmented A3. Pamil says 27 seconds. You're right, 27 seconds is the more accurate answer. Yeah. That's a lot. I mean, that would be enough to push us sub 30. Theoretically, if we did the exact same run with that route, it would push us under sub 30 straight away. Not to mention, if we got a few less deaths, that would also make it easier to get under sub 30, so... Excellent. Well, very happy with our PB. Very happy with our PB today. And also very happy with our work on A3, which hopefully will make it easier to improve. Make it easier to improve in the near future. So, thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll catch you next time. Ciao for now.